In the cosmic silence, 40 light-years from Earth, around a small red star, pulses a world that could, in the not-too-distant future, forever change our concept of loneliness in the universe. It is not a gas giant, nor a desolate ice wasteland. It is a rocky planet, with a mass and size similar to those of Earth. Its name is TRAPPIST-1e. Yet its cold, technical name hides one of the most fascinating promises of contemporary science. The possibility that out there, in the stillness of the stars, there exists a place where water flows, chemistry organizes itself, and life, perhaps, has already stepped onto the cosmic stage. TRAPPIST-1e is one of 7 planets orbiting the star TRAPPIST-1, an ultra-cool dwarf that shines faintly with a dim red light, 1,000 times less intense than our Sun. But this very weakness allowed something extraordinary to happen: the formation of a compact planetary system, where rocky worlds move in close orbits, some of which, like TRAPPIST-1e, lie in the so-called habitable zone. It is that narrow strip of space where a planet, under the right conditions, can maintain liquid water on its surface. And where there is liquid water, life, as we know it, might have found a way. But challenges abound. The parent star, though faint, is young and active. It releases bursts of radiation, flares, streams of high-energy particles that, if they encounter an unprotected atmosphere, can strip it away within just a few million years. For this reason, researchers have focused on a fundamental question: does TRAPPIST-1e have an atmosphere? And if so, what is it like? Partial answers are beginning to emerge. By observing the planet's transits, those moments when it passes in front of its star, dimming it slightly, we can study the outermost layers of its atmosphere, if one exists. The results suggest that we are not dealing with a world enveloped in a primordial atmosphere rich in hydrogen and helium. Those light gases, too volatile, would have long since been swept away. Which is, paradoxically, good news. Planets with such light atmospheres tend to be gaseous and inhospitable. If TRAPPIST-1e does have an atmosphere today, it is almost certainly secondary in nature, developed over time through volcanism, cometary impacts, or internal chemical processes. A denser, heavier mix, perhaps partly similar to Earth's. Its density tells us more. It is greater than Earth's, implying a rocky composition, perhaps with a larger iron core than our own. This strengthens the idea of a solid planet, with a real surface, potentially ground to walk on, to build upon, to explore. But the most intriguing detail is that TRAPPIST-1e might be tidally locked, always showing the same face to its star, just as the Moon does to Earth. This would mean perpetual daylight on one side, and eternal night on the other. In such a scenario, climate conditions could be extreme. The star-facing side might be scorching, relentlessly lit, while the far side could be a frozen desert. Yet if there is a dense enough atmosphere, or perhaps a global ocean, heat could be redistributed. Air currents, planetary winds, complex atmospheric cycles could temper the climate and make a middle region habitable. The so-called terminator, the thin line between light and darkness, where the sun never sets but hovers eternally on the horizon. Here scientific imagination ignites. We might picture vast oceans lapping at shores bathed in perpetual twilight, forests of organisms adapted to a steady red glow, life forms feeding on energy through processes different from the photosynthesis we know. Perhaps bacteria, algae, or multicellular structures have developed systems to survive an unpredictable star, where radiation pulses like an unstable heartbeat. The mystery, however, is not only theoretical. We are on the verge of discovery. The James Webb Space Telescope has already turned its instruments toward the TRAPPIST-1 system, and the first data have arrived, though they are not enough. More transits, more observations, increasingly refined models will be needed to distinguish a real atmosphere from optical effects or interference caused by the star. Scientists are searching for specific chemical fingerprints: carbon dioxide, methane, perhaps ozone. These are faint signals, hidden in the noise of the cosmos, but if we were to find them, we would open a door that has remained closed throughout human history. Yet it is not only a matter of molecules or temperature. It is a matter of time, of resilience. A planet can lie in the habitable zone, but that does not guarantee that life has ever existed, or still exists, there. Because billions of years, a delicate balance, a harmony of geology, atmosphere, and radiation are required. The fact that TRAPPIST-1e is still there, stable, with such promising density and position, is surprising in itself. It means that, at least for now, it endures. And it is precisely this resilience, this ability to remain intact around a restless star, that makes it such an extraordinary natural laboratory. We might not only determine whether it hosts life, but also learn how habitable worlds form, evolve, and die. Every piece of data gathered on TRAPPIST-1e will become part of a larger mosaic, the map of life's possibilities in the cosmos. But what does habitability really mean? It is not enough to have water, nor for a planet to lie at the right distance from its star. Life, as we conceive it, is a complex process born from the interaction of energy, chemistry, and time. On TRAPPIST-1e, every element is still uncertain, like a puzzle with blurred edges. The star, for example, is not a gentle sun like ours. It is young, unpredictable, capable of sudden storms of ultraviolet radiation that can strip a planet of its atmosphere in just a few million years. Yet perhaps these very extreme conditions could have sparked complex chemical reactions, able to generate the first building blocks of life. The early Earth itself was a violent environment, and yet there, in those stormy, radioactive seas, something began to replicate. Some models suggest that TRAPPIST-1e might have a dense atmosphere, rich in carbon dioxide and nitrogen, perhaps with a significant share of water vapor. Others, more cautious, hypothesize that it has already lost most of its gases, becoming a barren land, more akin to Mars than Earth. But there is also a third, even more fascinating scenario. A world covered by deep oceans, devoid of continents, where life, if it exists, hides beneath the surface, shielded from stellar radiation, much like certain terrestrial organisms in the ocean depths or beneath Antarctic ice. Another element to consider is magnetism. A planetary magnetic field acts like an invisible shield, deflecting charged particles from space. Earth has one, and it is one reason why life has flourished on its surface. But we do not know whether TRAPPIST-1e enjoys the same advantage. Some simulations suggest that, with an iron core and sufficiently rapid rotation, a magnetic field might exist. Other hypotheses propose that, lacking such a shield, its atmosphere would need to be thicker to withstand the continuous erosion of stellar winds. In either case, the balance is extremely delicate, and current observations are insufficient to resolve the doubt. What we can do, in the meantime, is imagine. Picture an alien yet familiar landscape, where the laws of physics are the same, but initial conditions have produced different outcomes. Perhaps on TRAPPIST-1e the sky is perpetually red, illuminated by a weak but steady star. Perhaps its atmosphere is dense and opaque, with dawns tinged in blood hues. Or maybe it is a blue world, covered in oceans that reflect a melancholic, silent light. A world that breathes, slowly, beneath a veil of chemical clouds, as life clings stubbornly to molecules. And what if TRAPPIST-1e were not the only one? The TRAPPIST-1 system harbors 6 others, also rocky, also potentially interesting. We could be looking at an entire family of worlds, each with its own story, its own climate, its own fate. Perhaps one is entirely sterile, while another, just a bit farther out, shelters briny lakes beneath its surface. To imagine an entire architecture of planets, so close together they can be seen in each other's skies, is to shake the very foundations of our vision of the universe. But why does all this fascinate us so deeply? Because, at its core, Every search for life out there is a reflection of our desire to understand who we are. To discover an atmosphere on TRAPPIST-1e, any chemical trace suggesting biological activity, would mean not only finding a new world but answering a question as old as humanity itself. Are we alone? And yet, the answer might surprise us. We might learn that life is rare, requiring extraordinarily precise conditions, or that it arises easily but rarely evolves beyond microbial form. Or again, we might find chemical footprints of processes we cannot yet interpret, ambiguous, elusive signals that may take decades to understand. But whatever the outcome, the discovery of a planet with a potentially habitable atmosphere just a few dozen light-years away marks a turning point. One day, perhaps, we will send an automated probe to TRAPPIST-1e, equipped with solar sails, miniature reactors, and advanced artificial intelligence. It could take centuries, perhaps millennia. But the first step has already been taken. We took it each time a telescope captured the faint light of TRAPPIST-1, each time a spectrograph analyzed its transits, each time a scientist modeled the atmosphere of an invisible planet. TRAPPIST-1e is not merely a scientific target. It is a window onto the future of astrobiology, a crossroads between what we are and what we might become. It is an invitation, whispered from the depths of space, to look beyond the boundaries of our world and accept that perhaps life is not an exception but a rule. A silent, persistent rule, waiting only to be discovered where the human eye has not yet dared to venture. And what if TRAPPIST-1e were the first among many? If it were only the beginning of a new galactic cartography, where habitable worlds dot the sky like beacons in the dark? Then every star we see at night might hold a story, an alternative biology, a different future. In that vision, we are no longer solitary travelers in the void. We are explorers in a living galaxy, brimming with promise. And perhaps, one day, we will tell our story there as well. On TRAPPIST-1e. If you have come this far, it means you love curiosity as much as we do. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like, write a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support what we do. Your presence truly makes a difference. Until the next exploration.